afternoon, everyone. Hello. How's everyone? Good. Okay, so I'll just make a few comments first of all. So tomorrow the Treasurer will hand down the budget, and as we know, my main priority has been to keep Queenslanders safe during the pandemic, and now we want to make sure that we continue with our strong economic plan. There will be a record budget when it comes to investing in health, investing in education, and of course there will be a huge spend on capital infrastructure as well. We know we need to cater for our growing state, and we will continue to do that. The focus is purely on jobs to make sure that our young people get the skills that they need, to make sure that they get the training they need, and to make sure that we set Queensland up for a dynamic future, especially with the Olympics on the horizon. Today I'm also pleased to announce $71 million for our Screen Attraction program. This is fantastic. These are all of the jobs behind the scenes as well. People working as carpenters, the caterers, people in the makeup industry. This is a whole supply chain of work behind these massive productions. And basically, the Gold Coast is becoming the new Hollywood. We're going to also invest up in Cairns, and this is once again a good return for our investment, with bringing returns of over $1 billion to our state. I'll hand over to the Treasurer.
Thanks, Premier. Well, tomorrow I've got the honour of delivering my second state budget and the seventh budget of the Palaszczuk Labor government. It's a budget we couldn't have anticipated before COVID, but it's also a budget we couldn't have really foreseen just 6 months ago. It's a budget that will be strongly focused on labour values and delivering those essential services and infrastructure that Queenslanders need. Delivering for Queenslanders, for schools, for hospitals, for housing in particular, and for jobs. And of course, we will focus strongly on getting Queenslanders back to work, which is our #1 priority. What the budget will also demonstrate is, if you get the health response right, the economic growth and the jobs for Queenslanders follow. And that's something that we'll clearly show in our budget that I'll hand down in a little under a day's time.
Premier, earlier this year, when 2 elderly patients got an overdose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, in Parliament you said it's not good enough and the federal government needs to explain itself. Documents released by your government show there's been thousands of cases in Queensland Health. Is that good enough?
Look, I'm happy to look at that. I haven't seen those documents, but I do know that our hospitals and our healthcare workers are trying to do everything they possibly can to keep Queenslanders safe, and you only have to look at how well Queenslanders have done in tackling COVID and dealing with this pandemic, that I think Queensland is becoming, the envy of the world, especially when it comes to now a strong economic response flowing on from that.
3,500 patients have had drug errors over the space of a year.
Look, my understanding is there are some 20 million drugs administered in our hospitals each year. That's a lot. From time to time, unfortunately, human error does happen, but I know that our health professionals are trying to do the best job they possibly can each and every day.
Treasurer, is it right that we're actually going to be in a better position tomorrow than we were pre-pandemic?
Yeah, the numbers are looking good for Queensland. As I've said, debt will be lower, deficits will be lower, and that's the dividend that we will be returning to Queenslanders through increased services, through more infrastructure and through a larger number of jobs.
Will capital spending be down as well?
Capital spending will continue to confirm our $50 billion infrastructure guarantee to Queenslanders. It's a promise we made when we delivered our economic recovery plan. We locked it into our budget last year, and we'll continue to deliver that investment, which will create tens of thousands of construction jobs across Queensland.
The opposition cutting by $4 billion on infrastructure.
Well, that's not how it works. Every year that we invest and commit to our $50 billion investment and infrastructure guarantee means new infrastructure. We don't build roads twice. We won't build Cross River Rail twice. By 24-25, Cross River Rail will be almost complete, and we won't be building it again.
The questions on the coal board of inquiry that was released today, the report?
The Grosvenor, yeah. Look, I've just heard they've come down. I'll be looking into those. But as we all know, that safety must be paramount.
Management knew there were problems at the mine and it continued to operate. Do you think...
I have to have a look at the report more closely. I'm quite sure Minister Stewart will address that tomorrow.
Do you think coal miners can go to work and
Everybody has the right to go to work and come home to their families safely.
Thank you.
Okay?
Treasurer,
Yes,
sorry,
please.
just on infrastructure spending, there was a big focus on regional Queensland last year. Will that continue this year? In that
Yes, we'll continue to invest in regional Queensland, and in particular a majority of capital spend in Queensland will occur outside of the Greater Brisbane region.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.